What is up, everybody? How you doing today? Today we have a little bit of a different video, and might I remind you all before I start this, it is just my opinion, okay? Please don't get mad at me if this is not perfectly the way you would like it. It's just how I would rank the maps. So we're gonna go ahead and start this off with number 10, and sadly it is Hirschfelden. Now, mind you, Hirschfelden's not a horrible map. It has European bison and Canada goose, which are both two very unique species, but animals are just, I feel, so spread out that I can go for a hunt on Hirschfelden and I might be lucky to find a half a dozen animals. It can really be a challenge. And then you add the brushiness of the map, hardly being able to see 10 feet sometimes unless you're in the straw fields, and it's just no fun in my opinion. Now mind you, Canada goose hunting, that's fun, but everything else, I don't know, I feel like for other than European bison, I would much rather hunt these other species on another map. Alright guys, and now for number 9 we have Parque Fernando, and just like all the other maps, Parque Fernando is not a bad map. It's fun. All the maps can be fun, but I just feel like there aren't a lot of species on here. There's only, I think, 7, and the lack of diversity kind of keeps this from being an amazing map, in my opinion. And also, just the fact that it's so brushy. I can hardly see anything. I hate brushy maps. Hate them. I like to be able to see long distances, take some far shots, and to me, Parque Fernando just doesn't cut it. Also, there's a long period of time throughout the entire day where you can't hardly even find anything on this map if you tried. It's just barren sometimes during certain parts of the day. If you don't know when animals drink, you might have a hard time finding them. I struggle, like, on SRP, I hunt feed zones all the time. But here on Parque, I can only hunt drink zones because you cannot hardly even see animals when they're in their feed zones. So that's kind of a bit of a problem for me with this map, and that is why it's at number 9. Alright, and now for number 8, we have Leighton Lakes. And a lot of people absolutely love Leighton. I am not one of those people. Reason being, it is again super brushy. Like, I cannot hardly hunt feed zones on this map because you cannot see but so far unless you're right on the water, and that makes it not as fun for me to hunt this map. Also, I mean, I hate to say it and bring it down to this, but the map's been out for a while. It's just gotten old for me. I've played this map for 2 years, and it doesn't bring the same amount of excitement to me, and that's why I myself don't like it. But remember, it's just my opinion. There's a lot of people who love this map, but for me, this map is it's just not my favorite. I just don't enjoy it. So that is why it's number 8. Now at number 7 we have Quatro, and I hated to put Quatro here because I really do enjoy Quatro. It's a fun map. I like hunting it. It's just, I don't know. It seems a bit repetitive because so many of the species are so similar. Like the ibex, there's not much difference between the 4 of them if you really think about it. They all act the same, they all do the same thing. They're just in different parts of the map and have a little bit of different horns. That's the only difference between them. And I don't know, I get bored on this map fairly quickly because of the repetitiveness. And there's just other maps, in my opinion, that seem better, and that is why I had to put it here. But I hate to do it because Quatro, I do love to hunt Quatro. It's a fantastic map for red deer, but I just get bored on it quick. There's no other way for me to put it. So that is why it has to be down here at number 7. Alright, and at number 6 we have Medved Taiga. And I love Medved. I love all these next maps, but I really do enjoy Medved. It's a fun map to hunt. Just the thing that puts it lower for me is it only has 6 species. It's a beautiful map, And the species that are on here are a lot of fun. They're great species. But it just only has 6. And because of that, it does tend to get a little boring sometimes. But it's just, look at the view. Look at the view. I love how beautiful this map is. It's the only map that we have that has incorporated like all the snow. Yukon has some snow, but not a lot. I love the landscape of this map. It's so beautiful. It's just the lack of animals. Now, mind you, there's animals all over the place, but there's only the 6 species. If they would add an animal or two to this map, it would really bump Medved up for me, and it would probably put it in my top 3 if they added another animal or two. But with that lack of animals, that is why I have to put it here at number 6. Alright guys, and here at number 5 we have Awaroa. And this map is a great map. I love this map, and it has fallow deer, which was probably the biggest thing for me, because we really needed another map for fallow deer. Hirschfeld just didn't cut it. They were tough to find, tough to hunt. You spooked a lot of them, and just really was not an overall enjoyable experience. But hunting fallow deer here on Awaroa is fantastic. It's so open. There's a lot of feed zones you can check, as well as drink zones, and there's just, I feel like, animals all over the place. It's a very open reserve. You can see a long ways, and that's the kind of stuff I like. Like, I like this open area where I can shoot 300-400 meters. I mean, if the render glitch wasn't a thing, it would be amazing. And it has several good species. I wish it didn't have as many repeats as it did, or like reskins, and that's probably why it's a little bit lower than a lot of people would put it. But it's still a really, really good map. A lot of fun to hunt, and for newer players, it's a great map to earn a lot of cash on quickly. And here at number 4, we have Rohunga Savannah. Now, several people would probably say, why the heck have you put Rohunga this low? Because a lot of people, Rohunga is their favorite map, or their second favorite map, or whatever. And I love Rohunga. All these maps from like 7 and up, I absolutely love. They're great maps, and this one is fantastic. But in my opinion, the others just edged it out by a tiny little bit. Rohunga has a great species selection. It's one of the only, I think the only map right now without a single Truax animal on it. So you don't get any weird glitches with Truax that you would get sometimes. You do get a lot of charging Cape Buffalo though, and always have to be on your guard. And actually, for whatever reason, I don't have the 300 on me. But it's a lot of fun, especially in multiplayer, and it's just, I don't know. I've always enjoyed the map, but then again, as with Leighton, it's older. I've played it for a long time, and I prefer some of the newer maps just because they're fresher. I haven't played them as much, and Rohunga, I do tend to get a little bored sometimes, not often, but just because I've played it so much in the past, it's not as fun for me as it was when it first came out. But don't get me wrong, Rohunga is amazing, and I still love it, and that is why it is number 4. Here at number 3, we have Yukon Valley. Now, I know Yukon does not have as many animals as some of the other maps like Rohunga and Quatro, but to me, the big thing for this map was how they first made the wolves and the interaction with the animals and the player. The beautiful scenery of this map. I love this map. The scenery is amazing. The animal choice is very good for an Alaskan map, rugged and just out in the middle of nowhere. The music is probably the best of any reserve. I know, like, why would you make your best reserve off of music? It's just because The Yukon music has always been my favorite. I've loved it since the day it came out. It is amazing. And also how they incorporated the snow and how the snow would fall and then it would melt and you'd be back to the lush green Yukon Valley. But when it snowed, everything was so beautiful and white. And it was just a really neat mechanic that they'd never done before and actually still haven't done yet again. And it really sets Yukon apart from all the other maps. And that is why I love Yukon Valley so much. Alright, and here at number 2, we have Rancho del Arroyo. And I know Rancho is not out on console. I've not had a chance to actually physically play it for myself. But just from what I've seen, it is a really awesome map. Now, mind you, it's only outdone by one other, okay? But this map is so good. It has a lot of open areas for feed zones, which I love. I love the open areas and being able to hunt animals outside of drink zones because in real life, you don't always just hunt animals around water, okay? Also, it's another map for whitetail. So that means we can grind great ones, okay? Because the great ones are supposed to be fixed with this new update. As we've seen, they have become a lot easier to find on PC, it seems like, just because there are so many more whitetail. And I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be so much fun. And it just looks like a great map overall. It's got a lot of diversity. It's actually our first small game oriented map. So I'm really looking forward to this. They brought in the pheasants, which is something that has been wanted for so long. And it is just going to be great. That is why this map is at number 2. And last but not least, we have one of the favorite maps for everyone, Silver Ridge Peaks. And this map is just different among all the others. It stands out. It is so much fun. Okay, there's a lot of cool species. They look really different and really interesting. It brought turkeys to the game, which was something that a lot of players had been asking for quite a long time, actually. And the changing of the need zones. This was the first map that really you started to see need zone times differ. Now, mind you, the short need zone times can be a little bit of a pain in the butt, and I saw that they changed that when they switched back over to Awaroa and now Rancho del Arroyo. The zone times are back to longer again for drink times, but for this map, it has a lot of short drink times. But really, it doesn't affect you too much because you can find so many animals, okay? SRP has all these open areas that even when it's not a drink time, there's always something out feeding. Always. Like one of my favorite runs to do is to start at this outpost and just run down this hill and down through this valley right here. There's all kinds of feed zones, and really, in multiplayer servers, you never know what you're going to find. Also, SRP is great for cash. There's a lot of high-paying animals, and if you're a newer player and looking for your first diamond, SRP is probably the map to go because for whatever reason, I just tend to find more diamonds and rares on SRP than any other map. So that is why SRP is my favorite map. So, hope you all enjoyed this video. I know my opinion may differ a little from yours, and honestly, I would actually be curious to see what some of y'all would think and how y'all would actually rank the maps yourselves. But without further ado, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next time.